This is an article that was created with purely AI, and honestly, it's quite terrible. So I'm going to go through today to show you how I update a blog post so that it's not so terrible, and how I rewrite things, and how you can actually use AI to rewrite AI in a better way. So the first thing that I want to do is rewrite this full introduction into my voice. So I'm going to keep this top part. This blog post is about our target keyword. Can add a cozy charm to your house. So the way that I'm going to do this is a lot more unfiltered and unedited so that you can really see the process and how I go about seeing if it's still considered AI, and just to make the blog post overall way more helpful, which will help you to get into an ad agency and get approved for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this introduction here. So it says, creating a rustic farmhouse gallery wall can add the cozy charm to your home with a mix of vintage frames. It's just very basic and not my favorite. So what we're going to do is I'm going to keep that first sentence, and we're going to say can add. So one thing that I've noticed with AI is they always start with a word like creating or elevate, explore. And instead of that, I like to rewrite that and just say you can create or you can do something. Adding a preposition before it already makes it seem more human. And then that can add a cozy charm to your home. You can use a mix of vintage frames, let's say, or personal touches that make your home feel more put together. So now I also need you to know I'm not the best writer, and this isn't going to be the best, but this is how you get better, by practicing and making your content better over time. So this article will list or will show you some great inspiration to help you create a gorgeous gallery wall. And then I'm just going to add an H2 here with our keyword. So I'm going to change this to a heading. I'm actually going to unbold this because that looks weird. Farmhouse gallery wall ideas. Then we're going to redo this one more time. And I'm going to change this to say this article is all about rustic blah blah blah. So that's going to help with Google, so that Google knows what this blog post is about. So now that that's done, we're going to go to our first one here. And I'm going to change this title right away because that already screams AI. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say use what should I do? Plant prints. Just keep it super simple. And then this is like honestly just garbage here. So I'm just going to rewrite this entire thing and just get all of this out of here. Luckily, I already have a lasso link in here, so that's helpful. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically describe this image here. So you can decorate your living room gallery wall in a rustic farmhouse way by adding simple plant prints. You can use different sized frames to create a cool contrast, and and then you can also use actual plants on floating shelves to add some. What are we adding with that? We're adding some you can use some actual plants on floating shelves to add some more decor to a gallery wall. Just keep it super simple like that. So then this next part is where I'm going to show you what I do now for the rest of the article, because what I want to do is I want to rewrite the introduction and then the first paragraph so that it can get my tone. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy all of this and I'm going to bring over ChatGPT. And I use the free version of this, so you don't need to pay for anything to even do this. But we're going to ask it, what is the tone of this blog post? And then we're going to add in that. I probably should have deleted the lasso link, but that's fine. So now it will tell you the tone of it, which I think is always the first step when you are writing a blog post, is to establish the tone. And if you're using AI to help you, AI needs to know and understand your tone in order to write a blog post in a better way. So it says that it's warm, welcoming, and informative, which is always the tone that I'm kind of going for anyways. So then I'm going to say, can you write the next section of this blog post in a concise way? I'm going to say in the same tone, in a concise way. I'm going to change this as well to adding family photos, which sounds way more human. So then I'm going to go back to ChatGPT, and then we're going to say the next section is titled adding family photos. So then we have this, and I'm honestly just going to, you could sift through this and find some good moments for it, find some good information in there, but I'm just going to I think it's going to be faster to rewrite it this way. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to say, you can incorporate family photos into your rustic farmhouse gallery wall. This is always fluff that AI adds, so I always just like to just get rid of it because it's not good. When it comes to writing blog posts as well, I like to use a mix of shorter and longer sentences, but keeping things on one line makes it so much easier to read, especially on mobile. So I would always try to space these out and don't leave long paragraphs. So choosing vintage styles frames or a mix of some rustic wooden frames can really add some depth to your gallery wall. So then that's done, and then we say you can also add a few black and white or sepia tone photos to enhance the farmhouse vibe. This is the perfect way to make your gallery wall feel, and I'm just going to erase all of this and just say cozy, because it's going to be way more just simple, but also helpful. So now the next part of this is I'm going to grab this AI detector here. So this one is by Quillbot, and I like to use it to see how it's picking up my tone and seeing if it still thinks that AI wrote this or if it knows that now a human has edited it. I'm going to show you after I copy all of this. So we have this part now, and I'm just going to erase this because it's always going to, oops, I got to do that all over. So I always have to erase the lasso links in here because it's always going to say that that's AI, and it's not going to help with the overall. We need to see if this is going to pick up on AI or not. So it has the option of whether it thinks it's AI generated and AI refined, or human written and AI refined, or just human written. So we're going to see what it comes up with, and it's all human written so far. So that is how you can just change it up to make it seem like it's more human while using AI to help you with that. I also always recommend, if you're writing blog posts, to use Grammarly because it really helps and speeds everything up. So now I'm going to take this, and you always want to be updating ChatGPT while you're using it so that it picks up what you want it to output. So I'll say that was a good start. I edited it to this instead. Please match this tone and writing style from now on. And then I'm just going to add that, and like, let's see what it says. Perfect. So now we're going to get to the next section. So we have mix and match frames, which is fine. So now we're going to say, write the next section titled this one. You can mix and match. Oh, I already think that that's so much better. Perfect. So we're going to get rid of all of this once it loads. So now we're going to get rid of this. So you can mix and match different frame styles to add some character to your rustic family. I keep saying family, I meant farmhouse gallery wall. Combining vintage frames with rustic wooden ones can create a beautiful contrast. I'm just going to erase that and just keep it simple. Try varying the sizes of the frames too. It's a perfect way to add balance. Didn't this just copy this? Not entirely, but that's okay. Try it's a perfect way to add balance and make the wall. I'm just going to erase this and end it with balance. This, I'm going to get rid of this adjective. I just feel like it doesn't need it. And we're going to do this mix keeps things cozy and inviting while still maintaining that farmhouse charm. So now I'm going to copy this and then also take this, because it needs, our AI detector needs at least 80 words to see if it's AI or not. And I'm just going to paste that into there and see what it thinks. Ooh, it thinks it's AI generated. So now we have to go back and edit it even more. So different frame styles to add character to your rustic family farmhouse gallery wall. You can combine vintage frames with rustic wooden ones, which can help to create a beautiful contrast. I'm gonna just erase that one, and we're gonna put the mix of different frames keeps things cozy and inviting. And let's see what it thinks now. So we're gonna copy those and remove all of this. Wow, it still thinks it's AI generated. That's interesting. All right, we gotta fix it. But it's weird because I'm pretty sure when I put it with this, it didn't think that. Maybe let's grab the full thing and let's see. Wow, so now that it's all together, it thinks it's human written. These AI detectors are never going to be perfect, but we still need to test it somehow. So I'm actually just going to keep this because it does think that it's human written, so that's fine. So I'm going to change this title to incorporating different textures, and that's what we're going to keep it to. So then we have our lasso links, and we're going to do the same thing again. Back to ChatGPT. Great. Write the next one titled. So we have this, and we are going to rewrite it here. I also make sure I save it often because I never want to lose things. Some extra charm to your gallery wall by incorporating different. You can use woven baskets, burlap prints, or a wooden sign to change things up. I'm just going to erase this line. I don't even like it. This is a perfect way to create a rustic farmhouse vibe and make your gallery wall look great. We're just going to keep it super simple and just helpful, if that makes sense. This is just an inspirational type listicle. And when it comes to that, this text honestly doesn't really matter because people are more interested in the actual photos instead. But it is still important to make sure that the text matches it and is just as simple and as easy to read as possible. So we're going to go back to our AI detector and we're going to add this. and just remove any lasso. Oh, did it again. Oops. So remove this lasso link. Oh, is that it? Okay. Now it says AI written, but I wonder if I have all of it, what it'll say. See, and now it thinks it's all human written. So that's okay. That's exactly what we want. And then we're just going to keep going with that. So instead of that, we're going to go to using colorful, I'm just going to put using colors and keep it super simple. And then we are going to rewrite that. So we're going to go back to our ChatGPT and then write the next section. And I'm just going to add to it as I'm going and make it very helpful. This section is on using colors. Perfect. I'm curious if I go right off of this, what it thinks. Interesting. So it thinks it might be partly human written. We will keep that in mind as we're editing it here. So when it comes to adding color to your rustic farmhouse gallery wall, you can keep it simple. And then I'm going to say if you are into a more colorful palette, then you can also add pops of warm reds to bring, or warm reds. I'm just going to delete it after that. If you are looking for more of a bit of contrast, consider using earthy tones for a rustic feel. For a more rustic feel, this is the perfect way to make sure the colors complement. And then I'm just going to add an I in here. I love the different colors in this art, and I highly recommend experimenting with different prints to see which colors look best in your space. Perfect. I like to put the use of I in there every so often so that they know that I'm a real person and I'm just giving in my additional human input. So we're gonna copy this again and then go into our AI detector. Oh, I didn't copy properly. Try that again. Perfect. Let's see. It's all AI written apparently. I think that's so funny because I obviously wrote a lot of this, but that's okay. We're gonna take all of this now to see what it says, just to make sure. See, when you grab all of it, then it thinks it's human written. So basically that's all I'm going to do to update the post is I just go back and forth and I just start updating it and adding my own human elements to it to make sure that the content is not only helpful, but it gets rid of all of that extra dumb AI fluff that it adds there. This is why you can't just use AI to create a post and just put it out there, because it's not going to be helpful, it's not going to be good, and you're just going to get rejected from ad agencies when they know that it's just AI filth. So if you are going to use AI to write blog posts, make sure that you know how to edit it properly, get rid of any passive voice, use I or say the word you instead of having it start with words like elevate, discover, transform. Instead, say you can transform, you can elevate, and just add more to it and get rid of the fluff. And that is how you update AI written blog posts and how you can create a better blog post overall that keeps your readers on there longer. I hope that that was helpful for you and that you can take this and start updating your blog posts in a better way.